It is April 16th, and we are following a number of stories, including the United States is waking up to even more mass shootings, at least 2 separate incidents with dozens injured and possibly killed.
Just heartbreaking news today.
Yeah, he's someone who truly will not be forgotten, and this turnout really tells the story. Hundreds of officers out here today honoring a hero, someone who they could depend on, someone who people loved. We just got finished watching a press conference from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department about a mass shooting that killed 10 people. Investigators say it happened in Monterey Park, California, that is just outside of Los Angeles. I spoke with Pastor Bill Atkins, a prominent pastor in Memphis, Tennessee. He says he's been in touch with the district attorney's office, and he says the question that is still not getting answered is, why did officers stop Tyree Nichols? The U.S. is weeks away from defaulting on its debt. The impact would be devastating for the economy, and tomorrow a meeting at the White House could determine whether the U.S. will avert the crisis. Our Spectrum News Washington correspondent Ruben Jones is outside the Capitol with that story and much more. Hi there, Ruben.
With just days to go before the deadline, President Biden has signed the debt limit bill into law.
Officially called the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, the bill suspends the public debt limit through January 1st, 2025. This prevents the U.S. from defaulting on its debt, clearing the June 5th deadline. And hope you're having a great Saturday. Such a beautiful start to the day. The weather is looking nice. We're finally seeing the sunshine, unlike last weekend.
I know, it feels like it's been a long time in coming. Good morning, and thanks for kicking off your Sunday with us right here on Spectrum News 1.
It is April 16th, and we are following a number of stories, including the United States is waking up to even more mass shootings, at least 2 separate incidents with dozens injured and possibly killed.
Just heartbreaking news today. Plus, I'm speaking with a drug researcher about a dangerous drug that's being found in our state called xylazine and what the White House is saying about it.
And the push for green energy alternatives, we take a look at sustainable fuel sources made right here in North Carolina.
Let's get right into our top stories. We begin with reports of a mass shooting in Alabama where at least 20 people have been shot.
Just devastating. A local TV station in the area, WRBL, says that the shooting happened during a teenager's birthday party at a dance studio in Dadeville, Alabama. Officials have not confirmed the exact number of victims, but WRBL says at least 20 people were shot. Some of those died.
This is a developing story, and we'll continue to update you as we find out more.
Also this morning, another mass shooting in Louisville.
It's heartbreaking there. At least 2 people are dead and 4 others are hurt after shots were fired into a crowd at Chickasaw Park. Police have yet to identify a suspect in this shooting or determine a motive.
This comes just days after another mass shooting at a bank in downtown Louisville that left 5 people dead. We'll also continue to update this story as soon as we learn more information.
As gun violence continues to devastate the U.S., firearms are becoming the leading cause of death of children in our country. In recent years, the number of kids shot and killed in firearm incidents has soared to record highs. Our Kristen Mazur takes a look at the rise in gun violence and the steps some say we must take to prevent kids from dying.
You hear about it on the news.
A drive-by shooting that injured 11 people.
Stories many have become numb to.
2 people shot outside of McKinley High School.
Gun violence, a daily occurrence here in America. Right now, it's likely that somewhere across the country, someone is being shot and killed. 120 Americans every single day. The number of those being kids getting higher and higher.
Only in the U.S. are guns the leading cause of death for children and teens.
New research showing gun deaths among kids went up 50% over just 2 years.
Starting in 2018, guns overtook motor vehicles as the leading cause of death among children.
Sarah Bird Sharps with Every Town for Gun Safety, a movement made up of millions of Americans, survivors of gun violence, students, mayors, moms, all working to reduce gun violence here in America.
We, as a country, are a nation of survivors. So many of us know people who have been shot, who have, lost a loved one. And, every day we add more to this.
So what is the solution to reducing this gun violence? Well, some calling for stricter gun laws, others asking for more mental health resources. Bird Sharps saying We need both.
I think many Americans would be really horrified to know that nearly once every day, a kid under 18 gets access to a gun.
Taking steps to prevent kids from being shot, from being killed. Bird Sharp says are steps we all should be taking.
Our gun violence epidemic in this country is having a devastating impact on kids. We have to take action.
Kristen Mazer, Spectrum News.
Thanks for that story, Kristen. Gun violence impacts so many people.
And just some devastating statistics there, too. Later today, we're going to take a look at how gun violence has affected people here in North Carolina. You can watch our half-hour special today on the growth and change in the 6 months since the mass shooting in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood.
Watch Hedingham Path to Healing this afternoon at 2 o'clock with an encore Tuesday night at 8 right here on Spectrum News 1 and the Spectrum News app. We are taking a look at internet connectivity here in our state.
According to the North Carolina Department of Information Technology, 4 million people in our state don't have access to broadband.
Spectrum News 1's Vanessa Leon spent time with a Lincoln County farmer who explains why his lack of internet access puts him at a big disadvantage.
Tommy Wyant stands guard as the soybeans he planted load into the truck.
So that right there will be roughly around 850 bushel. Don't want to run it off. That's like money on the ground.
Wyant is the 5th generation to run Wyant Farms out in Lincoln County.
People say it's either in your blood or you're just plumb crazy one, but it's something I've always done. Back from the day of riding on the tractors with no cab, no air conditioning, no radio.
But farming equipment has come a long way since Wyant was a kid.
So this right here, this is the grain dryer. It's a new grain dryer that we bought.
With an internet connection, Wyant can operate this dryer completely from his phone.
Saves a lot of man hours from someone having to come up here and kind of keep check on things. You could control it from while I'm in the field. It's just, can't do it.
He can't because broadband isn't available on his farm and his cell service is terrible.
What are they, like 1 or 2 bars?
Wyant can't even market his farm online.
Everything we deal with is high tech now. So it's aggravating not being able to, we have the capabilities here and I can't utilize it.
It's not just his business. His family also feels the burden.
I still have like online homework, and it has been difficult to do it.
There, it dropped down. Just 1 bar. Now there went 2 bar.
The U.S. Secretary of Commerce recently visited Lincoln County. She spoke to Wyant about his frustrations.
We've been hearing for years that we were going to get it broadband, and money had been allocated, for years that we were going to get it, and we just never see it coming.
For his family, his community, and for the future of his farm, he hopes that changes soon.
It should be a service that all of us have.
Thanks, Vanessa. It's hard to imagine not having internet access and running an operation like that. Currently, the Biden-Harris administration is working to bring internet to the 24 million U.S. households still without access.
At this point, we've had positive tests for xylazine from counties sort of all over, from all the way up in the mountains to the coast.
There's a new dangerous drug that's making its way across North Carolina. We're calling on an expert to learn what makes this drug different and how to keep our communities safe.